Thank you for being here with me. I want to go into anxiety. And the topic with anxiety I want to go into is how do we live a certain lifestyle that accepts anxiety, but it's also able to manage it and deal with it. And I really want to go into that first area. I want to shed light on it, almost like just being light shedding here where I'm at. If you're struggling with anxiety, and you may not want to hear this, you may not like to hear this, I think it's important for us to accept things as they are. But that does not mean that we don't have to develop a plan to work through it, right? So I could accept that my face is going to grow hair on it. And I get that that's different than anxiety. But just work with me on this. I can accept that my face is going to grow some hair on it. But let's say that I don't like that. Then I can work with it by trimming up the hair, letting some grow, adjusting it, right? I can do X, Y, and Z to this thing that I'm accepting. And anxiety often works in the same way. If you're struggling with anxiety, look at what your triggers are. Look at what anxiety is like for you on a day-to-day. So let's take an example. Let's say an example for you is that anxiety increases racing thoughts, where you go from one worry to another worry to like this whole mountain of worry. And then you're so worried that you want to avoid certain situations, right? So we're kind of getting to know anxiety. We're accepting that. We're going to ourselves and we're looking at ourselves and saying, hey, I kind of get that. Sometimes I do this. So we put that on one side of the equation. On the other side, we look at how do I challenge this? How do I work with this so that that anxiety is not decreasing my ability to function in life. It's not decreasing my ability to do the things that I want to do and I enjoy to do, or I enjoy doing, not to do. And that's where coping skills come in. So I want to share with you a few coping skills today that you can utilize as you're kind of getting to know your anxiety. One coping skill has to do with deep breathing. And before you shut this video off, I know that a lot of us talk about deep breathing. I do a different strategy with deep breathing, and I want to share with you in cases of support. Now, this deep breathing strategy has to do with a physiological change and also some neurological, some sort of cognitive work. And then what you're doing is really simple. You are breathing in through your nose, and then you're exhaling through your mouth. And as you're doing that, you're also up here telling yourself to do that. So an example of this out loud would be in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. What happens is that as I'm breathing, that becomes a distraction of its own. That's reducing my heart rate, bringing it down. It's allowing my blood pressure. It's allowing really everything in the body to just come at ease. And then by counting, it's not allowing my mind to wander, because the mind is going to like to wander just like the legs like to walk and move. Another coping skill you could look at is where you imagine that you have this red stop sign. And this coping skill is called thought stopping. And what you want to do again is you imagine that you have a red stop sign. So think about a stop sign right now. You're probably thinking about something purple. No. You're probably thinking about something red, right? Red and bright. And you know that you need to stop. You know you can't roll because there could be a cop over there or a cop over there. So you stop immediately. And then you know there's some white on that sign. And then you know there's the letter S-T-O-P for stop. And you really want to think about this as vivid as you can so that you're actually connected to this thought. And then from there, you're going to feel a sense of distraction, a sense that you went away from your anxiety, and then you're going into this whole stop sign situation. And then after thinking about the stop sign, I want you to either go into A, where you're doing the deep breathing, or B, you're going into just positive thoughts. Positive thoughts could be what you appreciate about yourself or your life. It could be gratitude. Overall, these two type of thinking behaviors allow a person to feel a little bit better, a little bit more calm and at ease. And then again, that's the strategy there. So we first start with acceptance, accepting that, in my life, the cards that I'm dealt with, I'm going to have some sort of anxiety that I'm going to have to manage in life. The other part that we look at is, how do I manage it? How do I live my life the way that I want to live it with this anxiety? And then part of that is the coping skill of the breathing, and then the coping skill of the thought stopping. So I hope that this video was supportive to you. I hope that it was helpful. And as always, in these videos and any of the videos, if you have questions, situations that you're dealing with, you're more than welcome to share that, and I'll be more than happy to help.